Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Absolutely. Welcome to the very first Sunday Smackdown. I am very pleased to be bringing this back. A little bit of housekeeping before we begin. This is pre-recorded. You are watching a YouTube premiere, which means this is the very first showing of this video, and nobody can scrub forwards, which means it's sort of live and there's a live chat, but it's not live. Afterwards, this will become a normal video, and there will be timestamps in the description and all of that good stuff, as you would expect. Unfortunately, the audio quality isn't as good as I'd liked it to have been. The visuals, however, are absolutely crystal clear. Basically, I hadn't set up my microphone in the new recording software properly. It's not terrible, but the good news is that can be fixed for next time. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please enjoy the very first Sunday Smackdown. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Saturday Smackdown, except now on a Sunday, so going forward, I will not be welcoming you back to Saturday Smackdown, it will be welcome to Sunday Smackdown, absolutely. This will be the first one, of course. My name is Interjection, joined by Maito, who will be stepping up to the task of casting Zuta, of course, now a family man, he's gotten married, his life, how boring. But we got young and fresh Mr. Maito here. I'm pleased to be bringing this back, and what a great series this will hope. Well, I don't know, it's two good players, right? Aizamk, everyone loves Aizamk, and we've got Kaiskleins as well, who I think is among the best at the moment. So, before we introduce the rules, because here you see starting age, Colonial Age, that is deliberate, that will be part of this particular Smackdown. Don't worry, we will do normal supremacy in Smackdown, yes. But from time to time we want to do some interesting and different things. But Maito, how do you feel about being the new Zuta, so to speak? Sorry, I'm piling it all on you. I feel like it's a lot to live up to, maybe, but I'm pleased you're here.
It's cool. It's a bit weird, to be honest. It's when you say it that way, because Zuta used to be like someone that I'd watch his VODs and stuff like that. And I never thought that like I would ever be like any good and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to be the new Zuta.
That's funny. So what you were like?
I don't know if I can truly feel those shoes.
Well, I felt that way once. I used to watch 36 Drew. That's how I got started on YouTube, and I watched his YouTube videos and thought, "Oh, this is amazing!" And like during break time, in school, I would go and watch his videos. I was a bit of a nerd, obviously, but here I am doing it myself.
We're going to be starting in the Colonial Age here, so this should be interesting.
Yeah, so what we have here is normal supremacy. Everything will be the same, except each match will begin in the Colonial Age. So that's how this is going to work, and I'm really interested to see how this will affect the different build orders, the strategies the players go for, what they've actually prepared for this, and how the matches will unfold. I'm just excited to make a sort of blanket change, one simple change, like this one, and then just see how that affects supremacy. So, the civilizations, it looks like, will be Germany versus the Dutch. But after this, the winner of the previous match will select their civilization first, and then obviously the other player will counterpick afterwards. All 14 civilizations are available, but they must win each game with a different civilization. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first game in this Best of 7 series between Aizamk and Kaiskleins. This is Sunday Smackdown number 1, and the rules will be Colonial Age starts. Absolutely. There is a There is a $100 prize pool for the winner of this event, and going forwards, we're going to have $50 every single time we do Smackdown for the winner, just to keep things competitive and give a reason for players to show up. Turns out it's really hard to schedule players, so yes, Aizamk from Malaysia, Kaiskleins from France, and of course Maito from Canada. So we're literally all around the world today. Maito has just woken up. It's really quite late for Aizamk, and for me it's just the middle of the afternoon, so there is that. If you want to support Saturday Smackdown, please consider donating to us on Patreon. That is going to help us fund the prize pools for this event, but currently it's all coming out of my pocket, so that's fun. And the ad revenue, of course, so expect to see ads on this video. That's where all the, of course, resources are going. Resources? I mean, you know what I mean. But I said resources because we're playing on Deccan, Maito, where you start with an absolute monstrosity. I don't have my UI installed.
We are... Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Wait, I don't have mine installed either. No! Although, to be fair, the hunts are even worse this time. Kaiser has 3 extra hunts, so...
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Probably pay $2. This is the most fair spawn so far, actually, I think.
Okay, that's good.
So we should be good.
Alright, with the magic of video editing, we have got a great map by the sounds of it, and now got UIs installed. So just to remind everyone, this is actually pre-recorded. We did this on the 15th of December. I'm not quite sure when you're watching it, but we're using YouTube's new Premiere feature if you're watching this on the Premiere page, which shows how many viewers and there's a live chat. That gives us, I think, all the magic of YouTube, but also some of the brilliance of Twitch and everything being live. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the bottom of the map in the colour red, we do have Kaiskleins starting in the Colonial Age as the Dutch market going down. And by the looks of it, an explorer heading straight out onto the map here. Will he be looking for a trading post? Possibly. I mean, Dutch usually just go for banks. He's actually getting a market as well here. Are we going to see a trading post too? Doesn't look like it. He's walking just past it. But anything's possible on especially Deccan. This very first game in this series will be played on Deccan, and then we'll go back to more standard maps. But we'll see what happens there. Aizamk, on the other hand, has gone for a trading post. He, though, is playing Germany. So this is more sort of to be expected, I think. Germany struggle with that XP curve, and XP is very valuable, and there's not a lot else they could be doing with that resources anyway. So market going down. So similar things here, and hunting dogs just coming in. Actually, Aizamk is going to go for 2 trading posts, so lots of resources on Deccan, and that is how he's choosing to spend them early on. Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is a really cool map to be playing this on too, just because there's a lot more you can do when you have like an additional like 700 starting resources. Like Dutch, for example, is a civilization maybe that I'm not sure would work in this Colonial Age start without all those crates, because you don't get that early bank, you don't get the extra XP and stuff like that. So that's, I think, kind of the reason why Kaiser's picked Dutch here. That banks gave him a lot of XP towards that first shipment. And yeah, Aizamk, on the other hand, gone with Germany. Germany's going to be... It makes a lot of sense, right? You get your early Ulans, you can be really aggressive with them that way. It's a lot of extra value out of your early shipments compared to other civilizations in the Colonial Age start, so it should be pretty good.
Yep, first shipment now coming out for both players. Kaisklein electing to go for 700 wood here. So you're saying, Maito, Dutch probably not going to be as good on just standard maps, because you're not going to have the resources for an early bank and all of these things that you were mentioning, whereas here you get that extra and you can get that XP going, and of course that contributes to getting that early 700 wood that we see here, and with it going to be laying down even more banks, which is going to be improving that XP curve here. Remember, XP is super valuable in this format because the shipments are just so much more valuable. We're only 2 minutes 45 in, and 2 Ulans already in the base here. It looks like he's going to lose them. No, he manages to get that in there, but going to be using the villagers for a little bit of hand attack there. Kaiser really dealing with these early German units. He knows there's not going to be any more of them, and he has to sort of get rid of them, so trying to get as much those particular villagers really close to the town center. So that's a really nice move. If he can pick these off really quickly, he'll have a lot less to worry about, since of course those 2 Ulans came from that 3 settler wagon shipment of Aiz's, which is how he elected to begin this game. Has gotten those 3 settler wagons out. It is a very powerful shipment, and he's going to use those 2 Ulans to raid with that we saw. Here comes 700 wood. This is his second shipment, and here I imagine we'll start seeing some real infrastructure go down with that wood. It's interesting because he's managed to find the resources so far for 3 trading posts, and that's really, really... Germany shipments are going to be so strong, right? 2 Ulans plus whatever you normally would get. So really going for that. XP is just so valuable, and we can see that being reflected in Aizamk's gameplay. Just trying to get as many trading posts as he can. Barracks now coming down, Maito. 700 woods hit the board, and this forward settler is going to be constructing our forward Rex.
Yeah, and actually this has been a really good start for him. Yak's blocking the Ulans a little bit there, getting cheeky. Villager almost goes down, but not quite. And yeah, this has been a really good start for Aizamk, actually, with this stagecoach coming in soon. It's going to rival the 4 bank economy from Dutch here. as well as allow him to be very aggressive in a moment here, as Kaiser has yet to drop a military building. 600 wood coming in now. Military building's likely going to go down soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been an interesting start so far. Crossbows out for Aizamk
Crossbows coming in strong. He's using that off the back of his 700 wood shipment just to get some ranged units here. Of course, Germany don't have access to musketeers or anything like that. But I wonder, Germany just field units so quickly as a result of just having this Ulan presence. And this could be really, really difficult for Kaiser to get some military buildings up there. He's done a good job of fighting off these cavalry and using the villagers to do that. But the presence of these crossbows is just keeping all of these villagers built up. And it's going to be tough to get that military building down. 3 villagers going straight onto that Rax now, and the villagers only just coming out since those crossbows. He's just letting the crossbowmen get far enough away before coming out. He doesn't want them anywhere near his barracks. That has to go up. That's really important, putting the villagers back in. But Germany getting lots of idle time here. Aizamk going to be really pleased.
Yeah, in the meantime, look at this other trade route he's started to grab too. He's really making sure he gets both those stagecoach lines going.
That's insane.
And like, I wonder if Dutch even has any kind of economic advantage once that stagecoach comes in on the other side there. It's going to be a big problem for him.
It absolutely is. Like, he's just going to have so much XP, so many shipments coming in, really powerful shipments at that, and now 700 gold coming down as well. He's loaded up a second. What's he got in queue? Second Rex? Is he going to be going for perhaps Doppelsodners with that gold, or perhaps he's going to try and age up? We will see. Certainly, Kaiskleins is trying to age up here. He's gotten his Rex down, and he doesn't have any units in queue, and he's stacking resources. Looks like he really wants to try and get to the next stage. But here in his base, there are lots of units that doesn't really nice from Kai. He's not losing too many villagers there, but there are units in his base here, and he has no military presence to defend himself. Oh!
He actually hasn't lost a single villager yet, so this has been really good control from him.
Kaiser, yeah, very strong, mechanically speaking. H2O has said that before in the past, but here, Minutemen plus the pikemen here coming out, they're going to be really useful, going to snare those crossbowmen and use the Minutemen to tidy that up. So has managed to defend that, and of course he's just about to get his age up in. It looks like he's just gotten the food for that. Few Ulans in his base, manages to pick off the first villager of the game, a second one. They are fairly low HP, but here comes the pikemen are going to scare them away. So Aizamk not going to go home without a couple of villager pickups, and of course has done lots of idle time, but I think these yaks are going to be making up for it now. Kaiser now got his age up in queue, going up with the Exile Prince, and will be in the Fortress Age very soon. So still in the game here, I think, versus Aizamk's 5 trading post economy and double forward racks plus stable behind that.
Yeah, for sure. And he's going to have to make something happen off this age up relatively quickly. It looks like Aizamk might be looking to follow him up to Fortress. He might be sniffing out the possible age up from Dutch here. Pikemen getting zoned off of the base by the crossbows there a little bit. They're just going to be sitting in the fog of war a little bit. And that's going to make things a little bit awkward. No units out for Kaiser yet either. He doesn't have any, or he has skirmishers in queue now. They are going to pop, but we'll have to wait and see what he chooses to do with his first shipment that he's just elected to send. That's going to be the deciding point here, as he's going to have to use that to push out of his base relatively quickly before Aizamk actually manages to age. He has started to just age now.
Yeah, Kaiser has to do something, right? So Aizamk's aging behind this, but Kaiser, he's got to do something. You know, the XP is going to dry up. You don't manage to keep that shipments going for very long, especially without a trading post. So, especially compared to Aiz, who has 5 of these trading posts. Kaiser going to have to, let's see what his first shipment is, and I imagine he'll start contesting the trade routes. We'll see where he goes with that. But yes, as you mentioned, Aizamk on the way up to the next age himself. 700 food there on the floor, and will be reaching almost... Here we go. There it is.
Yeah, it's going to be 9 Reuters that's going to give him some extra mobility, make sure he can deal with these raids a little bit more. He can also start scouting out for this forward base a little bit without really fearing getting caught. And yeah, stable going down for Kaiser now as well. He's still only on 4 banks, so not quite maxed out on his economy just yet. We might see him buy up the resources needed for that 5th bank sometime in the near future. We'll have to wait and see. First trading post is going to go down. This is going to be really big for him if he can pick up this trading post for himself. 1 trading post to 4. It's only a 3 trading post difference. Would make quite a big difference here.
Yep.
But Skirmisher's out for Aizamk now.
Ooh, yeah, that's exactly what he needs here. And there's no units from the Dutch player that do well against these skirmishers. Of course, every unit here is fairly weak, especially with supporting cavalry coming in and even more skirmishers there. So it looks like Kaiser baited into a fight that he doesn't really want to be fighting, since more skirmishers reinforcing here. Looks like there's a few Ulans are going to be trying to get up close and personal. They're doing well, but they've just now died, since, of course, swinging their swords onto those Reuters is exactly what they want to do if they're that close already. That would be ideal.
Oh, the trading post gets denied too.
Oh, he's gonna rebuild. Oh no, it's so close. Yeah.
And all this is possible because Ace decided to construct that forward tower, giving him that earlier or that closer shipment point, so he could apply a lot of pressure with these shipments coming in the Fortress Age here. And there's not a lot that Kaiser can really do about this skirmisher mass at the moment. He's only got 1 Rax to Azamp's 2.
I really thought the tide was turning.
8 skirms coming in now, but
I thought, he was going for that trading post. He'd almost built it. I thought he was going to get on the trading post map, push forward, and just basically get the XP he needs to keep this game up. Since, of course, Fortress Age shipments.
Yeah, but he has Hussars out now. There's no anti-cav here from Aztec.
You're right, absolutely.
This could be good.
He's going to have to kite his life out. Here we go, trying to. But they take so many
9
damage.
Coming in, though, just in time.
Clutch shipment there from that forward tower coming in strong. Going to get on top of these Hussars, though, and clean that up. Actually, he's going straight for the Reuters, and why not? If you can kill those, that's really quite powerful. And then get on top of his opponent's skirmishers. So they're trading skirmishers with Cav here. Looks like Kaiser's Huss have just run out here, and now the German Ulan moving on to the skirmishers. Anything, there looks like there is Hussars in queue for Kaiser. They need to be popping very soon. There they are, 3 coming out, and that should be enough to force away these Ulan.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to clean up the skirmishers. He's going to retreat with those. Needs to get out a little bit more units before he chooses to fight that. Another batch of skirmishers coming out, but he's still down in the skirmisher count. Azamk going to have another shipment on the way shortly, most likely. And yeah, this is a lot of pressure to deal with. He did manage to clean up one TP, though, which is good for him. Azamk has not been able to rebuild that yet, as Explorer is dead on the other side of the base. But still, no 5th bank for Dutch. Dropping his 2nd stable, actually, so not going to be contesting this skirmisher mass too heavily. Going to be going for maybe a larger Hussar transition to try and deal with this, which could be good for him. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Probably not going to want to let Azamk scout that if he can help it. Azamk coming in the front part of the base now, picks off a villager. 4 Hussar shipment coming out. There's more Hussars in the queue, 5 popping up from behind this. This is a really good trap.
Yeah, this is good.
There's no anti-cav yet for Azamk, no 2nd shipment either.
It looks like these skirmishers are on their own against these Hussar. The Ulans won't last long there, and they're not in the position to defend. They are doing some damage versus the skirmishers, but, very low HP unit here. The skirmishers are going to clear up these Hussars, but not before they take quite a lot of damage, or, those Hussars have done their worth in... They're very worthwhile. They've sponged up a lot of damage. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But Aizamk does have some more units coming in strong here. 5 more Ulans, freshly trained. Gonna jump on top of these unprotected skirmishers. No, 10 Reuters coming in clutch. This is absolutely what he needs. He's gonna push them away. And Aizamk gonna be gone for the time being.
Yeah, I'm surprised, actually. I thought those 9 Hussars were going to do a lot better than they did, but they died really fast to the 5 Ulans and the skirmishers focusing them down. So it was really well controlled by Azamk. Looks like he's going to be moving around to the right side of the base now, going to rescue that Explorer, maybe look to get that trading post back, and re-establish that economic lead.
He's poking all over the place. He's trying to poke over here for Vils, which he could still do. I think they're in line of sight. Yeah, a couple are coming in there. Azamk, very diligent when it comes to keeping the pressure on with the skirmishers. And, of course, came over there for that Explorer, as you mentioned, possibly wants to rebuild that trading post. Looks like, actually, he's going to be going for a town centre in the middle of the map here. And why not get to control this resource-rich area, the plateau, and Deccan, give you a bit of map control right in the middle there.
Jaegers.
Going to help him going into the long game. Yeah, Jaegers. Okay, this is going to be one hell of a power spike. This is a very, very big skirmisher army, though. And look at what Kaiskleins has. Mostly, Reuters there, a few skirmishers. Not overly many Hussars, though he has gotten the veterancy upgrade in here. This skirmisher-heavy army plus Jaegers is going to do very well against Kaiskleins' composition.
Yeah, it looks like he's just given up on trying to fight the skirmisher war altogether. Does have a skirmish still in queue, but he's focusing mainly on getting these Hussars out. Ulan's getting onto the skirmishers.
Oh my wow, 7 Hussars! Yeah, and there's more on the other side, I think, as well. Villagers coming out to fight this as well. He doesn't have Minutemen, remember. Lots of Hussars, they've just come out there, but remember how strong Hessian Jaegers are. They're not going to go down that easily, but still, Hussars going to be very strong against skirmishers, and I think, for the time being, Aizamk, he's going to have to get out of here. It's not a worthwhile fighting.
Yeah, he's going to be kiting back. Seems like he might be just fine with these 5 reinforcing Ulans coming in. There are still some Reuters, so they could potentially pick them off pretty quickly, but I don't think he has enough to clean up this skirmisher mass, and this is going to be a big problem because he's out of hunts in his base. He really needs to get onto the map somehow.
Yeah. He's going to have to. It's a shame he can't eat these rhinos as guarding the treasure. That would be handy, but not how the game works here. This has been a very balanced fight so far. The only difference, basically Kaiser can't really get out and do anything. He's forced onto these berries here, but the fighting has been fairly even, fairly back and forth, and no one's come out super on top. But behind all of this, this is exactly what A's wants. As long as he's not losing, he's absolutely fine. He's got 4 trading posts, both with stagecoach upgrades, so lots of resources coming in. That second town center's gone up as well. So Aizamk, the longer he can prolong this game, the more it's going to be in his favor. And as long as he's keeping this pressure up here, there's no way Kaiser's ever going to be able to get out on that map and build more trading posts and get to those resources and actually finally get that last bank up. And I think
another
you
big
can see that
Hussars,
reflected.
though.
Oh yeah, this is
it's
strong.
Not. I don't know if it's going to be enough. All these other Hussars, switches looked like they were going to be good, but Aizamk doing a good job of splitting off the skirmishers from the snared skirmishers. But war wagons coming in now, they're going to be able to deflect these Hussars just fine, probably. Ulan's also
the trouble
getting
is messing up
Kaiser
enough
skirms
Hussars,
there.
isn't it?
It is, yeah, especially with now that he's on primarily berries. However, he actually has managed to clean up most of this army, looks like. War wagons are going to be dropping.
He's won out. He's gotten it. He's done it. Kaiser Kai'n Black on the map here. Right, this is his moment. Right, now he needs to do something. He needs to get this trading post up. He needs to push forward and get another one. He needs to find some hunt. Go, Kaiser, go. That's what you need to be doing. But let's take a look at the recalculated economic unit population here. So I've just clicked the button. It was showing very in favor of Aizamk, who certainly does have more villages. But remember, Dutch has banks. So once I recalculate it, these 4 banks, it's actually a very even economy. However, this doesn't take into account this trading post stagecoach. So Aizamk probably ahead and also has more potential in the sense that he has that extra town centre. So there is that. And of course, he has access to the natural resources. Kaiser needs to push out now. We see skirmishers coming. They're unguarded. Where are their escort? How are they going to be defended from Hussars? Thankfully for him, Kaiser doesn't have that many Hussars and probably suspects that there are things nearby to defend them. However, there weren't. But, strong players are always going to hedge like that and assume things. But Ace perhaps a little bit out of position. Doesn't matter, he's back now, but he's got a bit of a stronghold here in the middle of the map, hasn't he, Maito? 2 stables, 2 raxes, an outpost, a house, a trading post, and of course a town centre very nearby. Ace just sitting on these resources, and I think he's doing alright. I think despite this even score, I feel like Ace has slightly more potential and is therefore in the lead. But Kaiser, I think, he has just pushed back. He has managed to get this trading post out. Let's see if he can make something happen.
Yeah, and part of the... What was I saying? Part of the good thing about this aggression from Aizamk has been the constant fighting has just forced Kaiser to invest in unit shipment after unit shipment, and he hasn't been able to start stacking the upgrades that gives Dutch sort of the edge in this matchup until just a moment. Wow, big batch of Hussars coming in, actually. There's 8 Ulans in queue, though.
Yeah,
so looks like 10 skirms going to be coming out, and Ulan's popping out as well, but I don't know how much...
The fight started without these Ulans in nearby. If the fight had began... Oh, but they're coming in from behind. It looks like Kaiser going to be trapped here now. I think he went into what he thought was a fairly even fight, but Ace had hidden some of his cavalry, and I think as a result of that, going to come out on top. Actually, no, I'm completely wrong. Kaiser... victorious.
Yeah, the Cav combat coming in huge here. And the few
that's
raiders
what threw
as
me
well.
off, is it?
Yeah, and the few Reuters as well doing extra damage to the Ulans was quite big. However, there's 10 more Ulans in queue. I don't know if he has enough Hussars to continue fighting this. He's got Hussars in queue, but they're not going to be here in time for this batch to pop out. Going to be popping out onto the skirmishers.
Beautiful. Just what he needed. 10 Ulans coming out and going to reclaim here.
Yeah, but here comes the reinforcing batch of Hussars. I think Kaiser is going to be able to clean this up once again, but Dops are actually now in queue for Aizamk, so those are going to be coming out in probably the next 30 seconds or so. Going to be deflecting this pressure probably. Reuters coming out for or in queue for Kaiser, so he's going to be prepared to deal with the next batch of Ulans, but not going to be anticipating the Dops probably, although Reuters do all right against Dops as well.
Yeah, well, as long as he sees the Dops and doesn't, stay in the area and doesn't let them get anywhere near his cav, he should be all right. But gonna take out this outpost first. He's worried about Azamk's classic, unit pops. So always take out the home city shipments when you can if you're up against A's. These cavalry just come. Maybe this is the right time. If they can survive long enough, that perhaps the Dops will be able to keep them in place and snare them there. Looks like it was just a little bit off, and he's gonna be able to get out. But the Ulans, that's what they were trying to do. Oh, Dops do get up into hand combat versus that Reuter there. I agree. I don't know what that was about. But it looks like they're going to get... Looks like Kaiser has managed to escape, and these Dops aren't going to be too effective.
Yeah, and the big thing about having won these couple of engagements here is that Kaiser is now out on the map. He can start raiding and start hurting Azamk's economy, and maybe start looking to get onto the hunts again. He's now managed to move on to the hunts a little bit. Still mostly on berries for food, but this is his chance to get back into the game for sure.
Yeah, he's chasing them down. Look, he's chasing these villies down. A couple of Ulans coming forward, but are they going to engage? What's going on? Why? Oh, he's just trying to stop the village and give them more time to get out of here, perhaps.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. But they are going to go down, unfortunately, both the Ulans and the villagers.
Yeah, it looks like, though, Ace did have the villager lead there, so this is just evening things up. But even more coming down off these trees. It looks like, look at that villager lead, now tumbling down to 56 from, I think, about... Never mind, he's lost a few villages, basically. Right, Kaiser now has this left-hand portion of the map to do what he will. He's got some... Oh, it looks like there's lots of war wagons, though, have come out.
Yeah, those are going to be a little bit awkward from to deal with. However, he does have some skirmishers out now, which will help him deal with that a little bit. But Hussars going in, trying to snare them. Unfortunately, two of them go down to a good split from Aizamk, but yeah, not going to pick up anything in return, really. Second barracks coming down with that 1,000 wood, also going to be finally dropping that fifth bank, going to be helping him close that economic gap a little bit more.
Yeah.
So this is looking pretty good for Kaiser at the moment. However, with this reinforcing batch of skirmishers popping out from the Raxes here, Kaiser might be forced to retreat. He doesn't have enough skirmishers to deal with that war wagon mass.
Yeah. I thought Kaiser had this left-hand side of the map. I thought, what's he going to do first? Is he going to continue taking out, he is here killing that outpost. I thought, right, is he going to kill the stables, or is he going to kill these trading posts, or is he going to find all these villagers over on this gold mine? No, Azamk's back at it and has managed to, get the war wagons out and has managed to remass enough units to keep contesting this side of the map. So currently in no one's favor, or in no one's particular belonging. We have a fight in the middle here.
Yeah, now that we're moving into the later stages of Fortress Age, Dutch is going to be able to start leveraging some of these infantry upgrades. He's got infantry combat in already. I imagine other infantry upgrades are going to be coming in relatively soon off of his next shipments. And those are going to be difficult for Aizamk to deal with, especially as Ulans are very gold heavy. And Aizamk has started to run low on gold mines. He's got 2 mines left with a total of 1,400 coin in the 2 of them, so... He can
That's not much.
Yeah, it's not a lot. He still has the trading post. He can get some gold from the trading post. Actually, he's got 3 mines. I didn't realize he was on this one over here, so that's an extra 1,000 gold for him there. But once those gold mines have ran out, Kaiser is going to be in a good position to really push in and try and punish this forward base. Maybe clean up some of these trading posts or even the town center. And the transition to mills and plantations is going to be awkward for Aizamk.
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing that, because it's going to happen soon, and it's, yeah. Looks like, though, Kaiser, he's just got an amalgamation in, but there's not really very many mines left on the map, which highlights the issue with that technology. At the point in the game where it's worth getting, it's no longer worth getting, because there just aren't any mines left. which is interesting. But not a discussion to be had here. Kaiser clearly on top of his upgrades and everything there, so not to worry, his village is going to be gathering at maximum efficiency. What he doesn't have, though, is that second town centre. It didn't matter so much because he did manage to get a really nice raid in when he pushed Ace back into his base and killed, sort of almost 10 villagers, I think. But now that the villager population's evened back up again, it's back to Ace, having 2 town centres. He's got the slightly more efficient, where he's got the slightly more villager potential. He's also already started that transition. There is a mill in his base already, and he's starting to transition onto that. He's gathering up berries, and I imagine getting ready for that. We'll see where that goes. So, nice to point out A's already sort of halfway there, but let's take a look at what Kaiskleins up to. He's now pushing forward. Looks like this big mass of units getting ready to move in. Aizamk moved on to crossbows. He's noticed the lack of coin, perhaps, and switching to, the trash units. He's reserving the gold for, those cavalry.
Exactly, yeah. He knows that the Uhlans, or maybe the war wagons, or just cavalry in general, is kind of his win condition here, because the infantry for Kaiser is very, very strong at the moment, with 2 upgrades, probably a 3rd coming in on this next card when he gets it. And his infantry is just not going to stand up to those skirmishers, so his cavalry is going to be his win condition here. Ulan's coming in for a flank, not going to quite commit to that, instead going to go on the skirmishers coming out from the racks. Going to trade those in exchange for those crossbows going down, I suppose. However, his other skirmisher is going to be getting caught. War Wagon's also going to be getting caught a little bit. This is definitely getting very awkward for Aizamk.
Yeah, it's not that many units there, is there? Up against these really strong and upgraded. He's even got cavalry Karassin. That is the hand cavalry upgrade from the arsenal. Aizamk, though, I think he's doing something a little bit interesting with that Sufi mosque. I believe they have an upgrade available that increases berry gather rates by 40%, which is actually very relevant at this point in the game.
That's actually the Bhakti. Actually, the Sufi actually give him. They have a tech that gives you goats for every 2 minutes of the game, I think, or maybe 3 minutes of the game.
That's coming up. Pardon me.
So they're all fattened. That'll give him a big boost in food, sort of help him delay this mill transition a little bit. They also have what else do they have? They also have an upgrade that's basically economic theory.
Have you seen the villager population graph? What did I miss? I feel like Kaiser just took a massive raid that we didn't notice. it was right on par. They were
Yeah, he did actually lose some villagers over here on this gold mine, probably about 7 or 8. And the meantime, Aizamk has still had these 2 town centers going the whole time. So, he sort of helped tide up the economy. But yeah, he doesn't have any natural resources still, and Kaiser doesn't really need natural resources.
Here are the goats! They've arrived. Brilliant. You were right. At this point in the game, certainly worth getting. I think it's every 3 minutes it ticks over and adds a couple of extra goats or something like that. So this is a really big food boost here, and it's going to delay the need for transitioning over to mills. And of course, it means he doesn't have to gather from those slow plantations. But Kaiser, although he's lost villagers, he does have this massive ball of units, which is going to be really strong. Looks like A is trying to keep away from that. He's got a few Ulan, he's got a few pikemen and some war wagons, which is not going to stand up to this massive army. Very well balanced composition. Hussars, skirmishers, and Reuters, all 3 covering all 3 bases. And this is Aizamk keeping up the pressure here. Just Ulan's everywhere he goes. Kaiser gonna just have to deal with raids constantly. Looks like there will be a few veteran Reuters nearby, which have also got ranged cavalry carousel from the arsenal coming in to defend this, but not before he loses a few more villagers there. Meanwhile, Kaiser in the middle of the map just cleaning everything up. And he's now going to get his second town centre on the board. But Aizamk, he has got the economic lead. Kaiser, the military.
Yeah, actually, Ace is going industrial. So that's going to be sort of his answer, I guess, to having to transition to plantations. He's going to get out those factories and start leveraging those trickles to sort of get him those resources. But now that he's lost everything in the middle of the map, Kaiser could also choose to go for the Sufi Mosque, give him a bit more food and stuff like that. Not going to have to transition to mills. Actually, Kaiser already has a plantation at home, just because of the lack of gold mines on the map.
Yeah, the only one left has got 26 gold in it. Not very much.
Yeah,
Mind you, the trading posts are quite valuable for that. We've got Kaiser station near this middle TP there, and I think he's going to want to build those. Of course, that's a good source of coin at this late point in the game, where all the mines have ran out. So whoever controls the trading posts is going to be in a good spot.
Yeah, but this is definitely starting to look dire for Aizamk. He is now an industrial. He doesn't have any unit shipments aside from the heavy cannons, but maybe the heavy cannons could be enough to sort of help him hold this sort of push. He's training a lot of veteran pikemen that could help defend potentially a heavy cannon shipment. And
that's fair.
That could be his way back into the game if he manages to win a fight with those heavy cannons. However, the cavalry has gotten into the base. They could potentially... He's got to be careful where he pops the heavy cannons out if this army gets jammed in a little bit too far here.
Yeah, Kaiser knows, right? He knows there's that is what could save Aizamk. He knows heavy cannons will be a threat to deal with, and he's just marched straight into Aizamk's base before they can arrive, expecting something like that. In fact, he's just going straight for the throat, just going to be killing that town center, deny the shipment points, and just stop anything like that from arriving, or at least make sure he's next to it, so when they pop out, he can just immediately right-click them and cause damage. There they are, 2 heavy cannons coming out now. We're going to see Kaiser continue to kill that. No, he is going to switch over to the heavy cannons there. They're on the right side there, and because of the mill and the house here, it's going to be tough to get around to them. Heavy cannons taking one shot. Skirmishes going down here. There are lots of pikemen, but finding it quite awkward to get into combat there. Uhlans, however, have managed to find the skirmishers with volleys of cannons on top of them. This is really nice. Reuters coming around now, trying to get into a place where they can deal damage to these Uhlans. Looks like some pikemen, the pikemen managed to find these hussars, and Kaiser in a bit of an awkward situation. Everything being pushed back, and with these cannons advancing on top, keep the damage up. Oh my goodness. I think here Ace has just pulled it off. He's managed to get back into the game, and all of these pikemen nearby, and Doppelson is causing so much havoc for these cavalry units here. And Aizamk is still in the game off the back of the 2 heavy cannon shipment. Looks like Kaiser was not quite able to surround the town center and kill them upon popping. Well done, Mr. Aizamk. Can we get some... I know it's YouTube and it's not Twitch, but can we get some PogChamps in the chat? That was absolutely beautiful. Aizamk now 100 points up with an economic lead, and of course a good transition already. 1 plantation there, 1 mill as well, and a military lead as well.
And the factory going to be on the way soon, and Kaiser does not have the resources to really go for an age up of his own, and he's going to be forced off of this hunt on the left side here. That's going to be a little bit painful for him, and yeah, I guess Aizamk is just totally back in the game after this. His army is still, not ideal. He's got crossbows and pikemans and band of ragtag units, but he's definitely got a chance now.
Dutch have banks, right? And not only is that an economic bonus in the early game as just pure numbers, but at this point it's very relevant because they generate gold, which just doesn't exist on the map. So Dutch going to have access to gold units all game long and won't have to worry. Whereas Aizamk, yes, he won that fight and it was very spectacular, but these heavy cannons are a one-time thing and he needs to protect them, and once they go down, it could be a little bit awkward. But Ace does represent quite a score lead and he's got quite a nice economy. So we'll see if he can keep this up. His next, I think, thing on his agenda is to contest these trading posts and reclaim control of this side of the map. And if he can do that, perhaps he can get back into this game. But Kaiser has a lot of free gold, a lot of free income.
Oh, these heavy cannons are a little bit exposed.
Yeah, and that's what's keeping him alive, or what's kept him alive so far. Ulan's getting into hand combat there, Reuters, and are going to be able to clean up that last heavy cannon. There is 1 Doppelsodner causing them a little bit of awkwardness. Ooh, not going to go in for that last one there. A little bit of HP left, perhaps. Didn't want to go into the crossbows, which do, of course, counter the Reuters. But Aizamk does lose 1 heavy cannon, and a lot of HP on the second one as well.
Yeah, that's gonna give him a little bit more breathing room for sure. These trading posts will go down a little bit more slowly. He's also not going to be super worried about any pushes because of that, but raids still going on the sides here. Really painful for him.
Religious freedom coming from Kaiskleins. I wonder what units we'll see from that then. It's the Stradiots, isn't it?
He's probably just going to use it. Who dops in the back of the base here too on this mill.
That's awkward.
Yeah, that hurts. But yeah, I think a religious freedom probably just going to be used to increase that bank limit, get his economy a little bit stronger. But yeah, now that Kaiser is he's losing a bit of villagers here. He's not in the industrial age, and he's had to start transitioning to these mills and stuff like that. This is looking to be really awkward for him actually.
Yeah, I thought he had this game. He got ahead, but the heavy cannon defense was.
Yeah, he overcommitted a little bit. He really wanted to just deny the heavy cannons altogether, but unfortunately did not. And Aizamk managed to get a really good fight with it. Yeah, however, Reuter is now going to be just pressuring the base. He's going to spot the first factory. Might be relevant at some point in the game if he ever manages to get enough units out to really go and siege that. But on the other side of the map, Aizamk is pushing with this army. There's not a lot of anti-cav here, but Kaiser, not like he has a lot of food to really try and go for Hussars or anything like that.
Kaiser really needs to grab that Sufi Mosque and get those goats like Aizamk did.
Yeah, I think maybe it was on the list of things to do, and unfortunately he just hasn't had time to really think about it with all the fighting that's been going on. So
yeah,
now with Aizamk in the middle of the map, it's not going to be an option for him, unfortunately.
No, he can't really sneak. There's only one of those Sufi mosques up, which is going to be a little bit awkward to get here. Looks like Aizamk has arrived. Lots of crossbowmen here, which are not amazing units. I wonder, do they benefit from the infantry upgrades sent earlier? Actually, there weren't any infantry upgrades sent earlier, so the answer to that is no. But either way, Kaiskleins going to be calling the GG here. These ragtag crossbowmen will be enough, and Aizamk takes the very first game. Well on his way to winning that $100 prize. Aizamk skirms don't beat Huss, it seems. Indeed.
Yeah, just referencing his early Fortress Age pressure with all the skirms and Jaegers and everything. Unfortunately, he didn't respect the Hussar switch enough, and that's kind of what got Kaiser back into the game. Unfortunately, Kaiser went for the reverse throw, pushing into Azamk space and losing the heavy cannons. But yeah, overall, a very exciting game.
What a brilliant game. That was a brilliant first game. And remember, we have more Colonial Age. So for anyone tuning in, even though this is a YouTube video after it was originally a premiere, but for anyone tuning in, they start in the Colonial Age. That is the catch here. Let's take a look at that post-game and have a look there. Aizamk resources on top by the looks of it. Let's go straight to all resources gathered, and you can see. Yeah, I wonder if we can notice that goat spike. I think it maybe is... I don't know. Aizamk ahead on villagers most of the game there. We can see that early villager raid there. You can see where he's climbing with 2 town centres and then loses the villagers. And it looks like Kaiser took a big loss. He went from 50 villagers down to 30. So lost 20 villager population in a very short space of time there. This could have been quite a different game if he managed to not lose those villagers to the raid. But Aizamk, of course, constant raiding pressure and constantly all around the map. Very diligent, as I mentioned earlier. That will be it, though. Let's get into game number 2 in this best of 7 series. The score is currently 1-0. I think Deccan was quite a fun map to play on. I think we should see that. I have a feeling that Deccan might make a return as the very first map in each Smackdown. How do you feel about that?
I think Deccan's a very, very fun map to play. I don't know why people don't like it, to be honest. Like it's so different from other maps, like, but in a good way, because like every civ seems to have like way more options on that map.
Just more starting resources in general is more interesting, perhaps. But the next map will be High Plains, and I selected this map because I feel like Great Plains is the bread and butter of Age of Empires 3. Everyone seems to pick Great Plains, or at least all the first and second lieutenants do, or at least I used to back on Vanilla, and even on the Asian Dynasties. It was just the go-to map. I was even considering putting in the As New Great Plains Fixed map. The one that everyone sort of used, and where they meant fixed, they actually meant spawns fucking thousands of hunts. But no, we went with High Plains because that was obviously similar to Great Plains, but it actually happens to be in the map pool in the ESOC. Alright, so this is game number 2. Aizamk picks first. He has selected British. Kaiskleins will now select afterwards. Every civilization is available, however, you cannot use the ones that you have won with. So Aizamk can no longer use the Germans, by the looks of it. Kaiser is going to select Ottoman. He could continue to play Dutch, but unlikely. I think Dutch was just the civilization he wanted to pick first, since it was Deccan, and as Maito mentioned earlier, Dutch probably wouldn't be very good in this format, except on Deccan. It's just those extra resources at the start of the game that allow you to get that first bank, that give you that extra XP, which gets that shipment curve going. And of course, in Colonial Age starts, XP is very valuable. I'm interested to see what will happen here. Ottoman could be a very, very strong pick on a map, or pardon me, where you start in the Colonial Age, simply because you have all that wood, right, and you can build trading posts and just get the XP curve going really, really quickly.
And you don't have to dump your resources into things like villagers at the beginning of the game, which means you have a lot more options than other civs. Brits, on the other hand, make a lot of sense as well. Those manors going to be helping accelerate that early economy a little bit, which helps him, which will help him start training units earlier and stuff like that. So we'll have to see how this plays out. Autos traditionally are a pretty good civ against Brits. In general, Brits don't have a super good answer to things like Jans and Abus in the Colonial Age. However, as we are already in the Colonial Age, we'll see if that changes at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the top of the map in the colour blue, we do indeed have Kaiskleins playing as the Ottomans. I wonder what will happen here. It's a 200 wood start, so looks like we're going to have just enough wood for a trading post, and he's going to have to gather for a house. I think Ottoman would really, really like an extra wood crate there, so he could just start gathering right away. Well, hold on a moment. You know, you don't need to start gathering right away. The only reason you gather right away is to get to the Colonial Age, right? We're already in the Colonial Age, so we'll see how that pans out, absolutely. But
oh my god, this is genius.
What? How is it? What do you mean? What's he doing?
So
Why is there a church?
The spy is going to deny Kaiser these TPs. It's just going to go straight for that explorer.
Oh, that's amazing!
That's actually huge. Wow. And this is so much more relevant than it would be in a normal game, because in the Discovery Age, you don't have access to the church, you don't have access to spies, and your trading posts are already constructed and stuff like that. But this spy, I don't know if it's going to get there in time to deny this first trading post. Actually, I think it might. It actually might.
You can see his explorer. He went straight for this middle trading post. He didn't see Kaiskleins there. He's gone for this one. He doesn't see him there. And he's going for this final one to see if that's where Kaiskleins has gone. But in the meantime, the spy hedging his bets, going straight up to this north side here. Isn't going to get there in time to deny it, but will take out this explorer. What the... No. Brilliant. That's very funny. But there is a villager building...
That's huge, wow.
It's not that bad. I mean, okay, that's going to be really, really annoying. Oh, lucky coin start. Okay, I was going to say, my original commentary was, Ottoman would probably like an extra wood crate, but then I was going to say and balance that out with, well, British would really like an extra wood crate too, but in this particular game, no, it's a lucky coin crate start, because that is what enabled him to build the spy. It's not that bad, though, Maito. He's managed to take out the explorer, sure, but at least he got he's got a trading post up. And, you know, how is he realistically going to be building more than that anyway? I mean, sure, this villager's building one here, but it's not like he can build any more, at least until the wood crates start arriving.
That's true, but the spy is also going to deny any forward base and stuff like that. You can see that, like, he's probably not going to be able to send villagers out to build in the middle of the map with that spy just sitting around. And the stagecoach is something that Otto really, really needs if they want to have a competitive economy. 700 wood coming out now as well. Not going to be able to dump those into trading posts or stagecoach super easily.
Yeah.
And Aizamk, on the other hand, is just able to drop down manors with this 700 wood shipment as well.
What a boom, right? Like, British, when you start in the Colonial Age, you just send 700 wood, and that translates into so many manor houses. In the Discovery Age, of course, you have to sort of, well, you can't do that. You send 3 villagers for sure, but it's not like you can just start the game with 700 wood. But that's what he's going to do. He used his initial wood for the church here. Looks like we've got Iraqs going down off that first wood shipment, and of course he's going to be building some manor houses as well as these trading posts. British going to be valuing that XP just as much as Ottoman, since, of course, as I've been saying, as is a common theme in this particular game, in this particular format, XP is very valuable, therefore trading posts are very valuable. Looks like Aizamk sneaking around here next to Sulkla Ahmed with his spy there, going to just be in stealth mode and wait for him. If he gets back up, he's going to make him sit back down again. So Aizamk, that's the best use of the spy, I think, there. And in the meantime, Aizamk can just do whatever he wants. Both players start with 700 wood, though. How has Kaiskleins been spending it? By the looks of it, what has he spent it on? He's built a barrack somewhere.
I guess he's
and an artillery foundry.
Oh wait, Kaiser, you mean?
Pardon me, yes, Kaiser. I was wondering what the Ottoman player had spent his wood on, but I hadn't seen these 2 military buildings here, an artillery foundry, and of course Iraqs there. Janissary is now coming out, gonna deny these pikemen the ability to siege down this trading post there. I like that. Takes a shot and then moves straight closer. Kaiser, mechanics on point, is not going to try and maximize the damage he can do to these pikemen.
Yeah, unfortunately for Kaiser, it looks like he's going to rescue this explorer, but the spy is just lying in wait. Gonna be getting rid of Sakulo Ahmed again.
I can't wait. Can we just pause for Kaiser's reaction? It's gonna be absolutely brilliant. And the villager there is going to take damage from the pikeman. I wonder if he could take him out as well. Back into stealth and right back next to the explorer. How filthy.
However, he does manage to clean up at least one of these trading posts with these Janissaries. Well, actually, does he? There's longbows out now. But he probably does have Abyss guns coming out relatively soon. Let's take a look. No, he does not. So actually, these longbows could be enough to save this trading post. Yeah, I think this has been a very, very good start for Aizamk. I was honestly expecting this to be really, really hard for Brits, but that church start is just, it paid off so huge for him. Otto's economy is just so far behind. If you look at the recalculated economic unit population, he's behind almost 20 villagers already.
Damn.
Because he doesn't have access to Stagecoach. And Aizamk has 2 TPs on top of Otto's 2 TPs as well to help him get those shipments in and stuff like that. So really the only thing that Kaiser has going for him that Aizamk doesn't have is that mosque right now. And I've got to say that 0.7 XP is not going to be enough to really win this game. However, Gen Abyss is still very strong against longbows and muskets and H2, so we'll have to see if he can get enough value off of this first batch of Abyss guns that he has coming to keep him in the game.
Yeah, you know, Janissaries are still quite good against the longbowmen. It's not like they can hit and run, but he's going to pull them away to safety with these musketeers there. Wouldn't have been able to do that if he'd had 5 longbows. The fact that one died made that possible. But here comes Abyss guns. They've got good damage versus everything. I think they're going to try and kill off the musketeers, but whatever they can get in range of is good enough. And looks like the British army are going to have to get back here. Jan Abbas, always formidable. And now Kaiser has this composition out on the board. Perhaps he can start to get these trading posts up and get that economy back in gear. We'll have to see. But as you mentioned, yes, you know, he's 33 villagers versus 13. And he's going to lose another trading post. These 3 pikemen just causing havoc. Looks like Kaiser, first thing on the agenda is to go and rescue the explorer. But this time with an army so he can shoot down the spy and then pick up his explorer there. 3 pikes have now finished killing off that trading post and are now going to move onwards. Perhaps they can start harassing the houses. And there are 3 Abyss guns here, I think.
Oh my gosh, it goes down again.
Oh, did he kill it again?
Yeah, and he's just decided to ransom it after that. Like, he can't afford to delay this TP line any longer with his economy being so far behind.
Yeah.
That's I can't believe that spy actually got that one shot there. It was like so close on that how much HP that Explorer had.
I wish I was looking. Oh, 5 Jans pop. Going to clean up these pikes, and they no longer are going to be an issue. Looks like we do have British trying to get out here. Only musketeers. Janissary's going to get away there. They need the support of the Abyss guns. But Kaiser has the military lead. He needs to translate that into getting the trading route, and then perhaps he can get back in the game. But as is, British just has such a big economy, and he won't be able to compete with that in the long term.
Yeah, definitely. And with the staple out now, Kaiser's military advantage is going to be dwindling a little bit if once that Hussar mass starts to grow. And he really needs to get as much value out of these military units as possible if he wants to remain in this game. Those military units are gonna, as much as he can trade for that, it's gonna buy him enough time to get that stagecoach upline safely. It's going to help mitigate this economic advantage a little bit. Hussars getting out.
Do anything? They've not managed to really get anywhere. They were trying to go for the Abyss guns, but the Janissaries able to take all of them out before they could do any damage. So the only thing they're really achieving there is sponging for the musketeers whilst they deal damage there. Not to say it was worthless, but could have been better. Aizamk not getting the value he wanted, and now these Abyss guns still on the board, still going to be an issue. I'm going to have to wait for more Hussars to join. Abyss guns coming forward to try and keep doing the damage there.
Yeah, very, very good splits, too, from Kaiser, getting off really good volleys with these Abyss. Keeping the Jans in the back just to pull those Abyss to safety if he really needs to. And I don't know if that trade was enough to really keep him in the game. He doesn't have any units in queue at the moment because his economy is just so bad. Like, he just can't afford to trade units at all. You gotta remember, like, Otto, they don't even want to send things like 3 villagers when they start in the Colonial Age. So he's actually down, way more vills than he would like. He's only got like a handful of them on top of these trading posts. Unfortunately, that Explorer's not moving, could get caught. Or Azamk's keeping tabs on these TPs. He knows that Stagecoach is Ottoman's win condition. However, while he's doing that, Kaiser is going to pick up the barracks. And then come back to defend this trading post. But yeah, doing a very good job of keeping tabs on the possible locations for this Explorer. 3 Hussars coming out for Kaiser, gonna get caught by Azamk's Hussars, though. That's not fun.
Not a little bit awkward, but thankfully does have some units nearby and can lead them towards the Janissaries. Is going to now go into going to attack move there and keep these snared whilst these Janissaries and Abbas. So it does, does lose his 3 cav, but I think sort of worthwhile there. He's going to be able to even it up. I like that one Hussar going straight just to try and kill those Abbas there. But yes, you're right. The keeping tabs on the trading posts, that's what Ace needs to do. He just needs to, the longer he can deny this trade post, this stagecoach, getting the full line upgraded and being on there, the better. And the longer his own economy will pay off. I think Ace doing a good job of that at the moment, and you can see that reflected in the score currently. Look, more units sieging over here, Hussars running around the map, keeping the Ottoman player very, very busy.
Yeah, and this is another advantage that Aizamk has right now is these Hussars, and Kaiser, he doesn't have the economy to support Hussar production of his own, so this mobility is just going to allow him to just sit in the Ottoman base for a really long time and harass these villagers, while Kaiser, he has stagecoach now, but he still only has 2 trading posts.
And 1 for Aizamk as well, so it's not even
and Aizamk has the resources to go fortress now as well. So, yeah, the clock is ticking for Ottomans right now.
I think Kaiser just I think Kaiser's just thinking, right, I've just got so few villages, and gathering wood is so time-consuming and expensive and etc. that I just want to get the stagecoach in so the trading posts can do it for me, and then I can translate the wood into more trading posts. And I think that's probably why he's, just gone for it. But unfortunately for him, Aizamk does have 1 on the route, and it's quite far away. If he wants to go down there and deal with it, it's going to take, a significant portion of time. Aizamk, meanwhile, back in his base. Here we have more Hussars, just keeping all these villagers belled up, and another one going down, and each villager for the Ottoman player is so, so valuable. And look, now getting back to work, but is really, really awkward, because all of the Ottoman army is sort of on the front here, and where it needs to be, controlling this route. And if it can't do both, he's got a few Janissaries at home, but they're not the best anti-cav. Should be enough to scare away these Hussars, though.
Yeah, potentially going to be alright. Looks like they are going to get some good trades with these Hussars. Phil's going to come into melee as well, just to really force these Hussars to run away. But meanwhile, on the other side, Jan Abis applying a little bit of pressure to the Hunts in the left corner over there. Going to deny at least 1 manor for a little while. I don't know if he knows that the age up is in just yet. He might be suspecting that Aizamk is up to something with these Hussars trying to buy so much time.
Let's take a look at Azamk's deck. Nothing out of the usual ordinary here. And still has a couple of Discovery Age cards. Notably, he's taken out the 3 villages. Of course, you'd never send them when you start in the Colonial Age, but still feels like Pioneers and a Colonial Militia is worth having if the game stays, Colonial or Fortress long enough. Is elected to choose them instead of perhaps an extra military shipment or something like that you could have in the Industrial Age. But let's take a look. Azamk now up to the next age. Now we know what's in his deck and what he has planned. Has elected to go up with the Adventurer, which gives you 6 longbowmen, and or 7, I believe, and they are now going to join the army. I imagine we'll start to see the veteran text come in, so let's take a look at TBR to see what's coming in. Yeah, veteran Hussars already.
A second stable going down too, so you might be looking to maybe go for a big goon switch or something like that, which would be really hard for Otto to deal with. Ottos notoriously have a problem dealing with ranged cavalry just because Apis guns don't deal with them as cost effectively as they do with other units, and Janissary is also not the best against goons, so that could be good for him. He could also just be going for a really big Hussar switch. He has Hussars in queue, 2 Falcons coming out now, so this big batch of Hussars he has in queue right now will actually allow him to get a really nice snare off on this army. It'll allow him to just keep chasing it for a really long time. So Kaiser's going to have to be careful here. He does have the stagecoach line now, though, which is good for him, but these Falconets might be enough to sort of wrest control of the steepy line away from him. We'll have to see. Apis guns do very well against cannons as well, though, so if those Apis guns get a little bit too close, those cannons could go down pretty quickly.
Yeah, he does have a lot of veteran Hussars, though. They're not in the fight just yet, and that could be a little bit awkward, but they are going to be very, very effective. Oh, yes, that's absolutely true, but they're going to be very strong against, of course, those Abbas guns, and Janissaries aren't the best anti-cav, as I've said earlier, so actually a lot of Hussars makes a lot of sense at this point, and of course has that potential for Dragoons as well. As you said, the upgrade does affect them, and a second stable would allow him to mass them very quickly. Aizamk, though, very diligent. 5 pikemen up here in the north from a proxy racks. just going to be using them to siege things down and just keep, basically a raid. Be very awkward, and it's just such a, moving around from the top of the map to the bottom to keep the maintenance on these trading posts is very, very costly. Here we laugh. Oh no! I think that's going to be rest in peace for these artillery pieces. They're both going to go down there quite quickly, and now a couple of stray units. It looks like though tons of, oh my goodness, there's so many here, but up against mostly Janissaries, and without those cannons, I'm not sure how effective a big hussar
cavalry combat
really
coming in though.
Oh, okay, that's gonna swing things. That's a strong.
I think he's actually all right here with a few of his infantry units still alive here. Ibisco's trying to focus down the musketeers, but these hussars are actually doing reasonably well against these Janissaries. Kaiskleins has hussars of his own in queue, but I think it's a little bit too late. There's still a big batch of hussars left here.
Yeah, gonna call the GG. Aizamk picking up game number 2 in this best of 7. Yeah, looks like Aizamk comes out on top in this fight, has the stronger economy behind this, so can just slam units into it, even if it's not the most cost-effective thing in the world. And of course, he's got these 5 pikes, which have just taken out this trading post here. Now moving on to the next one. This one in the middle is gone as well. I think Kaiser knows that trade route that he spent all game trying to establish has no longer got it, so that resource income is gone, and of course just doesn't have the economy to match it here. So Kaiser losing his army there, and does lose this game. Aizamk taking 2 victories in this best of 7 Colonial Age start format. Maito, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
What do you think of Aizamk as a player? Obviously, we know he's always been one for those particularly odd and strange builds, and he always likes to explore the game, and I think that's why people like watching him play and tuning into his stream. But do you think that translates into being good at this sort of thing, what we're intending to do in Smackdown?
I would say it definitely does. I think most people, if they started playing Colonial Age games, just like right off the start, I don't think anyone would think of building a church and a spy. It's just it's just something that you almost never see in real games, right? But Aizamk, of course, uses them all the time in real games, and he's like, this is gonna work like wonders against Ottomans. And I thought Otto was gonna do really, really well here. I thought it made perfect sense to go for Ottomans. You don't have to like invest in training villagers and stuff like that. The trading post line is huge on this map, but Aizamk did a really, really good job of shutting that down at the very beginning of the game, and yeah, I don't know. I think he's adapted into this Colonial Age meta very well already. And Kaiskleins, I know he played some practice games for this format as well, so it's not like he's totally unprepared. Aizamk just has his number, it seems, at the moment, but we'll have to see if that continues. He can't use Germany or British anymore, after all.
Let's get into the next game. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying Sunday Smackdown, please consider pledging us $1 or $2 in the Patreon below. Currently, all Smackdowns have a $50 prize pool coming out of my pocket, and I hope we could compensate that a little bit, because I'm not sure how long-term or sustainable that will be. But this particular Smackdown has a $100 prize pool. I wanted to make the launch event a little bit special, and I wanted to get some special players. We got Aizamk and Kaiskleins, who I think are among the best. And the next map will be Kamchatka. I picked this map in the prize pool, the map pool, because me and Maito really like Kamchatka, and we have some very fond memories of games, particularly that H2O and Black Star series. In fact, just that tournament in general, that when we first started doing ESOC tournaments. Kamchatka was just such a wonderful map, and I wanted to put it in here as it is one of my favourite maps. So Deccan, because I thought it was interesting. That was the very first game. I wanted to see what would happen when we just slammed tons of resources in. Plus, we rarely get to see competitive games on Deccan, so that was interesting. Followed by High Plains. I think Great Plains is the bread and butter of Age of Empires 3, so High Plains seemed like a natural fit, and Kamchatka now, because it's one of mine and Maito's favourite maps. We'll see what Aizamk selects. Aizamk picks first. He can pick all 14 civilizations except the ones he has won a game with. That would be Germans in the first game and British in this game, so neither of those civs can be played. Kaiser, on the other hand, can play every civ, including the ones he has played already, since he has not won with either of them yet.
Yeah, indeed, and I'm not sure exactly what Kaiser has up his sleeve for a map without trading posts. We've played High Plains and Deccan. He obviously had Dutch prepared, but I'm not sure what he has in mind for Kamchatka. Aizamk going to be going for Aztec, looks like. That makes a lot of sense, too. You can get the early fire pit, dance for that early XP, get those shipments rolling very early. Makes a lot of sense. We'll have to see what Kaiser chooses to do about that.
Leaving it in. Just going to green him with Ottomans again. Fine. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sunday Smackdown. This is game number 3 in a best of 7 series between Kaiskleins and Aizamk. Kaiser just going to green back in with the Ottomans, which of course is absolutely fine. Unlike in ESOC tournament formats where you cannot play the civilization you just played unless it is the reset, here you can. The only rule is you can't play with civs you've won with. So there we go. Kaiser just going to play Ottoman again, and I think that's fine. It'll be interesting to see actually what he does differently versus Aztec, or if he can actually get trade posts up without being molested by a spy this particular game. Of course, Kaiser will not have to worry about spies, since of course Aizamk, playing as Aztecs, does not have access to spies. But yes, this is Kamchatka. Maito will be checking the hunts, and we'll make sure this is all Gucci. But, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the south of the map, in the colour blue, we do indeed have Mr. Kaiskleins here, going to be using that Explorer to go straight to the middle of the map. Mosque coming down as the very first building with that wood there. And we'll see if the villagers, I imagine they'll switch over to wood since he can use the Explorer to get that central trading post down. I think perhaps he's looking for those treasures first and seeing if he can contest those before going for, you know, a trading post or something like that. No, he's actually just going to slam that down there. But he will see this 90 wood treasure, Maito. So I wonder if he'll crack shot that first, or perhaps get that wood first before going for this trading post. We'll see what he intends to do there. Yeah, it looks like he's going to get that ability recharging. But whilst he's building this trading post, he is going to have to deal with that Garja, apparently. Nice name. Aizamk has called his Explorer. Of course, Garja being famously an Aztec player here. This could be really awkward since, of course, that Explorer, really strong unit, and this Tiger doing damage to him as well. So much health has gone down. If he can get this 90 wood, it will be compensated a little bit, but I think Kaiskleins was really hoping to build that trading post here. It's going to walk over to it, so when it dies...
He's going to have to send a villager or something to finish that trading post, unfortunately, so doesn't have to worry about spies, but it's going to lose his Explorer anyway.
Yeah, I wonder if that... I mean, he saw the monk... Warriors! What the heck? Brilliant! He's even a fire pit for warriors! And switched out... Is that a Colonial Age specific thing? And he's using them to just completely deny the trading post. Can you not do this in the Discovery Age?
I think you can do it in the Discovery Age as well, but in the Discovery Age, getting that XP for that first shipment is just so important. Oh my god, that villager,
this is so disgusting! It's gonna die so quick, because the warriors don't have negative bonuses versus the villagers. And Kaiser... is not going to get that central TP up. I think, you know, you could blame it on him a little bit, saying, you know, going for that that wood treasure was a little bit greedy since, of course, you know, the macaque, the red monkey, it did see where that Explorer was, and he knew that, Kaiser should have known that Aizamk could have sent that Explorer over there. But, went for the wood treasure anyway. It is nearly built, and that Explorer will get back up in a moment. He's nearly at 100 HP and can continue to build that trading post. The trading post should wake up the Explorer there, presuming that half-constructed buildings have that effect that fully constructed buildings do. But these warriors on 1 HP and causing some no negative multipliers. I'm pretty sure this is a Colonial Age specific thing, and that you could not do this in the Discovery Age, unless they do have negative multipliers against villages in the Discovery Age or something like that, and then lose them upon getting to the Colonial Age. I don't know, but warriors going to cause a little bit of problems for these villages, but easily cleaned up by that town centre. Looks like, though, let's take a look at the shipment sent. We see 700 wood from both players, Maito.
Yep, and a forward war hut coming down for Aztec already. 700 of food coming out for A is just going to help him train some villagers and units at the same time while he has this relatively small economy. I'm so sad for Kaiser, because this trading post is he really needs it. He sent another villager here to rescue that Explorer, so it is going to go up, which is good for him. But with this forward war hut in position, it might not be up for very long. There is a barracks out for Kaiser now, but Mace Holtons do very well against Janissaries, and there's no Abyss Foundry, no artillery foundry, or
it might as well be an Abyss Foundry. He's not going to make Grens.
It's true. Coyote's coming out now instead. just going to be used to apply a little bit of extra pressure, maybe get some extra information on what Kaiser is up to as well. But yeah, well, this is looking good for Aztec already. Aizamk off to another commanding lead, I would say, off the start of this game. Or yeah, and one more villager going down for Kaiser. That's the second one he's lost this game. Only 9 villagers in total, and no stagecoach or anything just yet. So this is painful.
When you're sending when you're not sending 3 villagers and you don't have that time in the Discovery Age to make a few units, or to pay off from the fact that you don't have to train the villagers and that you're basically just gathering for free and you don't have to reinvest it into any villages, when you don't have that time, and you certainly don't have that free villager shipment, your villager count is just so small, and Ottoman just really not got anything. 10 villagers, the 10th one just coming out now. Thankfully, it has got some military presence now, has got both those trading posts, and could get that stagecoach, but remember, his opponent has one in his base as well, so I wonder how worthwhile it will be. Looks like Aizamk now gotten more coyotes on the board, and this is where the contention for this game will be. They're fighting in the middle of the map for control of this trading post, or at least for Kaiser's control of the trading post. He really wants to keep controlling that, and Aizamk going to be fighting on this plateau.
Yeah, actually, looking at Kaiser's resources, it looks like he might just be trying to age. Unfortunately, these Janissaries are going to get cleaned up, but he'll hopefully be able to get a decent trade against these coyotes. But not going to have any units then to defend this trading post in the middle of the map or anything like that for a while he tries to age up. Going to use the goats, looks like, to try and accelerate that age up a little bit. But yeah. Do you have the Fog of War on?
I don't. But they're basically look at what's been scouted. Like, it's just this funnel down the middle of the map. Brilliant.
All the play has been focused around this central TP, and so neither player has really had the opportunity to continue scouting the map, looking for those extra goats and treasures and hunts and all these other resources and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's funny. It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
You have that Discovery Age portion of the game, and I really feel like in Age of Empires 3, the Discovery Age is to get rid of the black map and find the treasures and just, see the lay of the land, but when you just jump straight into the action, like, you skip a lot of that scouting, and the moment, this map is still black, that is kind of funny. But, yes, I really like what Kaiser's doing, and I think that's absolutely the right decision, because he knows he can't win this on economy. He's not managed to get that trading post. He's had some issues there, and it's going to go down shortly as well. Though taking its time, he's, got only Mace Holton and units like that sieging it, which don't really have very much siege damage, so it's going to take a while for it to go down, but I think it will nonetheless. But basically, he can't win this on economy and, training units, so why not just go to the Fortress Age, where Ottoman can just ship lots of strong units, and it can hopefully take the game off the back of the shipments. But we'll see how that works out. I think that's definitely the best course of action for Kaiskleins, but A's in a good position. He's got lots of villagers here. He's gotten that warrior priest boom going. He's about to take down this trading post in the middle of the map and is starting on the one in Kaiskleins base as well. So A's in a good position. We'll see how effective shipments will be versus this.
Yeah,
he's got 2.5 stacked up. That's two, not 2.5, but that's he's got a good. How much gold does he have? I wonder if Mamelukes can come into play here. Perhaps he could ship gold. We'll see. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to get them rolling like right away. He'll want to get other units out first, just to get back on the map. But yeah, I mean, this age up is going to give him access to better units and falconets and stuff like that. And it's not something that A's is going to be able to very easily follow him up with, because Aztec... Well, actually, Aztec has fast age-up politician now. Maybe they can.
Oh, yeah, he's not used it, has he? Traditionally, Aztec always age fast to the Colonial Age, but since he didn't have to age, that's like a direct buff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good for him. But it's still going to be a little bit awkward for him to follow him up, as Kaiser could potentially get some tempo off of these early shipments, and Aizamk will have to sacrifice a lot of time if he wants to try and follow him up. But yeah, this age up, while it is going to give him access to good units, it is going to sacrifice this trading post line a little bit. Hussar is going to be getting one coyote for their troubles and running out without much trouble.
With those pumas nearby, I was quite worried. But yes, he's still okay. He's got his first shipment arriving soon. He can time that with Minutemen. Actually, I don't think he can. He's not got the resources for it. Lance, pardon me, Coyotes now getting on top of the Hussars here. There are Janissaries. They're going to do quite well against the Coyotes, but lots of mace. He needs his first shipment to arrive. I think it's coming now. I wonder what it will be. 2 cannons, I expect, which will spawn on the other side of the town centre, away from any Coyotes, but could well be something else as well. 8 Janissaries, just going to go with the safe unit that's not really weak to anything in particular, except Mace Holton, I suppose, but is going to be able to clean this up quite nicely. Hussars running around, trying to stay away from those Puma, but in the meantime, Mace Holton, sure, they're good damage, but not very much HP, and are going to get taken down.
Yeah, that being said, though, there's only a handful of Janissaries left, and there's still almost twice as many Mace Holtons. There is still one Hussar, though, but one Puma going to be chasing that around, preventing it from doing damage for a little while longer. But yeah, it looks like it is going to get cleaned up with the TC fire and the Janissaries. Yeah. But no units coming out for Kaiskleins after this, aside from shipments.
He has nothing gathering, like literally no income.
I don't think he's even...
He can't do anything. 2 cannons arrive.
There's 2 falconets. Ooh, coyotes, but villagers probably going to be enough to dissuade those coyotes from going in.
Yeah. But yeah, he deflects the pressure, right? That's now gone. But the thing is, you're right. He can't train units. The only thing he has is shipments. And whilst Aizamk can keep training units and keep sending them in, this defense, it was a defense, but it was a one-time thing. You know, how long can you keep that up of the back of shipments only?
Yeah, and look at Azamk's resources. Off the back of that fight, he just stopped training units completely. He's sipped 600 a coin twice, back-to-back, so he's actually going to be falling up to Fortress relatively comfortably here, and he's going to have a shipment ready when he hits there.
Yeah, this Civ just has... Ottoman just has, like, so few villages. There's just so little play for macro-orientated gameplay.
You really rely on those trading posts for your economy, especially in the Colonial Age play, apparently. And Ace has just done such a good job this game and last game, keeping control of those TPs and making sure Otto can't get that control. And it's just been a really, really big problem for Kaiser. He does still have this military advantage for a little while with this next shipment coming in probably, and these 2 falconets. But Azamk aging with the messenger to the Fortress Age, going to be up relatively quickly, and that window for Ottomans is going to be closing.
Yeah,
sending a few Janissaries to rescue that explorer now. I wonder if he's going to try and rebuild that trading post. It seems like he wouldn't really be able to keep control of it, maybe, but at the same time, what choice does he have? Yeah, maybe he could go for another town center or something like that. Yeah, going to be dropping a town center in the middle of the map. That's a very greedy town center location.
Do you think he has to be greedy, though, right? He knows he's so far behind, he just has to be greedy, and he has to get away with it.
Definitely has to be greedy. And with Aza now up to the Fortress Age, Kaiser knows he has to make something happen with this 2 Falcon shipment early before Ace can get those Fortress shipments and units rolling. I don't know if he knows exactly where this warhead is just yet. Perhaps that's part of the reason for this town center location. Maybe with the 5 Pumas popping out, he'll have some idea that there's some kind of military building over here. Are they going to get the town center? No, that Falconet Baltley is going to clean those up pretty easily, it looks like.
Looks like some Urks hitting the board.
Mm-hmm.
Eagle Runner Knights. Looks like he's going to get this town center up, but this is his army, and it's not really getting any bigger. It's 2 Falconets. I think we should name each one of the units, and we could probably keep track of them. There's so few units, we could like name them all Dave and Johnny and whatever, and I think that would add a lot of personalization to this commentary. The Falconet on the left is Jerry, and the one on the right can be Thomas. All right, that's as far as we'll go.
Jerry and Thomas are going to be the focal point of this game for the next couple of minutes, anyway.
Yeah.
So they definitely are
and it looks
deserving
like Ace
of
is
names.
getting ready for a push there. 3 Jaguars coming out now and going to get on top.
Going to be getting on to Thomas.
Yeah, Tommy, it looks like there's lots of Coyote runners coming out. Only a few Janissaries protecting Jerry and Thomas. I think Thomas and Charlie go down at the same time. Is he going to call Minutemen? He doesn't have quite enough gold for that yet here. And without those Falconets, I think Kaiskleins can kiss goodbye to this game. Aizamk picking himself up another. Having said that, though, Janissaries are still quite strong units here.
Yeah, they're pretty tanky. Eagle Runners do okay against them. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Ottomans, as I said last game, don't have a super easy time against goon type units.
Including
And eagle runners are like a super goon. So those are going to be awkward to deal with for sure. But yeah, I mean, now that those Falcons are gone, things are not looking good for the Ottomans right now. He does have that second trading post, or TC, I mean, which has, netted him one additional villager so far. Hooray. And that will continue to grow as the game progresses, but I don't know if he has enough time for it to really pay off. He knows that he's on a clock, too. Like, he's pushing in. Like, anything could be popping out for this warhead right now, but he has to fight now if he wants to have a chance of winning this game. This warhead has to go down. He has to, like, establish some sort of presence over this middle portion of the map. It's going to be really, really close. Ace doesn't have units in queue, but it's possible he's a shipment on the way. Yes, there's a Mace Holton shipment, or... Is that a big button, actually? I think that's a Mace Holton big button. And Kaiser are going to be calling GG.
Game number 3. I guess Otto just suck after all. They'd be okay if he could get trading posts up, but Aizamk just doing such a good job of stopping him with things like that spy, which was for, basically that 100 lucky coin start, enabled that in the previous game, and then here, because it's Kamchatka and there's trading posts in the middle of the map there, it's not too hard for things like warriors to get out over there, and the explorer as well, and of course we do have to remember Kaiser elected to go for that tiger guarding the wood treasure, so he brought it upon himself a little bit, but ultimately not doing so well, not able to establish those trading posts, and as a result, Aizamk has picked up 3 games to 0 and has almost won $100. This next game will be match point unless Kaiser can bring it back for the reverse sweep, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go on out.
The common denominator in Aizamk's victory in all of these games are those early military units. In the first game, he had the Ulans denying banks and buying time and raiding and stuff like that. In the second game, it was the early spy, and now in the third game, it was the early warriors. And now that Kaiser has lost to this sort of really early military unit aggression 3 games in a row, hopefully now he's going to start adapting. This is match point. He's going to need to make something happen here if he wants to have a chance of winning the series and getting that $100. So we'll have to see what he chooses to pick. Ace does have to pick first again, so that is still good for Kaiskleins. However, the last couple times he's picked first has not turned out too well for Kaiser anyway. Aizamk has still had a better idea of what he's going to do in the early game, I suppose. Didn't think past the 3rd Civ.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, but we'll see here. I'm hoping that Kaiskleins can bring this back. I believe he can, now that he's seen exactly what Aizamk's
come to think of it,
up to.
Aztec is a really powerful civ in this format, simply because the warrior priest dance for 1 XP a second when you're starting in the Colonial Age is absolutely insane. Like, that's almost a trading post's worth of value, 1 XP per second. I think on average a trading post is worth about 1.3 XP per second, and when you get Colonial Age shipments right away, XP, as we've kept on saying, is so valuable, so that definitely a strong choice, but Ace cannot play Aztec anymore, and I wonder if Kaiser will just slam in Ottomans for the next and final time. Ace gonna pick Ottomans himself, okie dokie. Will we see the Otto mirror, or has Kaiskleins got something? Give Ace a taste of his own medicine. Could be interesting, absolutely. Something to point out, spies and churches are indeed something we could see again, so that should be fun.
And this auto pick is maybe a little bit of BM too from Ace, right? He knows that Kaiser has struggled to win with them. Kaiser has just admitted that auto's probably not that good, and Aizamk just locks it in. So we'll see. And this is a non-trading post map too. I wonder if we might see some sort of native rush or something.
Yeah, we will see. That does sound like something Aizamk would do. But I'm wondering if Kaiser will give him a taste of his own medicine. We've seen this matchup, but now it's in reverse. Kaiser will be playing the British. Let's see if he builds a church and gets that spy out. Something to consider. But Ace, he's locked in here. He's selected Ottoman and GLHF. I cannot wait to edit this and put it together. I hope we can see some sort of comeback from Kaiser. That would be brilliant. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is game number 4 in this best of 7 series between Aizamk and Kaiskleins. Match point if Aizamk picks this game up using his final civilization, the Ottomans. He will win my $100. and a victory over Kaiskleins. But let's start with Kaiser. Here he is in the north of the map in the colour blue, playing as indeed the British. Maito will check the hunts to make sure everything's fine, but we do not have a coin crate start, so it does not look like we will easily see a spy. It's not going to be as relevant here, or relevant at all, because there are no trading posts. This is a non-TP map. There are, however, Inca settlements, 2 of which on the sides, and here Mapuche on the right. So those could come into play only because it's Aizamk, and that might be something he explores. Let's take a look at the units in those. I'm tempted to see what they have here. So we've got Inca Humunca, which is basically a pikeman, and the Bolus warrior, which is a grenadier. Yeah, I think so.
It's a weird unit. I don't know if it's very good. But
yeah, so probably not going to be making those, and it's awkward because the others aren't as primarily located. That center of the map is much better if you want to be training them. Looks like Mapuche Ironwood Clubman cost a lot of food, so could be cost effective. But this particular unit, I think, is just a very high HP Clubman without very many without the multipliers. So also not a particularly strong unit. I think we can just rule that out. And I wonder why A's has selected Ottoman then on this map without any trading posts of any kind. We'll get on that in a moment, but we do have 80 wood here. A's going in for the steal, but Kaiser, the rightful owner of that treasure, does manage to pick it up. And this seems a bit unusual. A's just going to go for the combat despite having lower HP. I think he picked up, by the looks of it, 90 food and has lost some HP as a result of that. What gives? Why is he just going for this fight? And also, why has he picked Ottoman on a map without trading posts?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the idea is here. He might have maybe a 3 Hussar shipment or something on the way. Maybe something like that could get him the edge in this fight here. Clean up the Explorer, apply some early pressure, and all he wants to do is just make sure that Kaiser can't scout out these treasures, any of the llamas on the left side of the map here, or get any additional information on what Aizamk is up to. Like, it doesn't look like Ace has dropped a military build or anything like that. The number of houses he has, actually, looking at his population, there's no way he has a military shipment on the way. He's only at 8 population. But, yeah, I have no... Oh, there was a forward villager that came up there. I didn't even see that.
Well, it looks like that's what managed to get away here, unless he wasn't in hand. Yeah, it looks like he wasn't in hand combat. Either way, though, has lost a lot of HP there. Maybe he just thinks that as long as he's fighting his opponent's explorer, then he's there. Neither of them are doing anything, searching for treasure. It looks like all these llamas on the left-hand side here completely gone unscouted. I mean, both players will know this. Pampas Sierras is a common map, and we've seen it in lots of tournaments. So I think both reserving that for later. And Aizamk just stopping his opponent from going there by engaging in a fight here. Has led him to the 90 coin treasure, though. Kaiskleins going to be going for that. But let's get into this, because the first shipments have arrived. 700 wood for both players, of course. It just lets you do so much. It really launches you into the game. It allows you to get, of course, houses, as we can see there. We're going to get the millet system upgrade, which makes settlers produce more quickly. And we've gotten the market as well as hunting dogs now coming in. And for A's in particular, a forward barracks. There is a barracks coming from Kaiskleins, but as the British, he's more focused on manor houses, which are going to net him villagers and get him into this game. So that is the story so far, but it looks like early aggression coming from Aizamk as the player.
And I think he's chosen to build the racks there because he saw that Kaiser's explorer was on the right side of the map. He sort of led him away from that location with his explorer earlier, so there's no clue that the racks is there. And having spotted the stable is going to mean he might not really have any idea that Rax is even up. I might just believe that there's only the stable. We'll have to wait and see what he chooses to build as a result. A few muskets coming out here. The Janissaries are going to give it away. 1 villager going to get away very safely. 3 musketeers also not going to opt to fight that at all.
3 musketeers. How poetic, 3 musketeers. But yes, not going to pick anything up there. Does not manage to kill that villager. Kaiser saw it coming on the mini-map there, managed to get the villager away to safety. And I just feel like Kaiser is just in such a good position. Like, you know how A's controlled the whole game against when his opponent was playing Ottoman, just stopped his opponent building any trading posts, and that was basically what won him the game. Well, on this map there are no trading posts, so he doesn't have to expend any effort trying to stop him. And as a result, just gets to sit here, make tons of manors off the back of 700 wood, and has sent 5 villagers as well. And look, these musks going to force away these Jans, hasn't killed any villagers, and now he's got a stable and a Rax, which just seem like odd choices, since of course, traditionally we see a barracks and an artillery foundry for that really potent combination of Jan Abbas, but electing instead for hussars from a stable, and without trading posts, I just feel like this is going to fizzle out.
Yeah, and Kaiser has seen the stable, so he knows that there's likely not an artillery foundry, given how poor Ottoman's economy tends to be. So he's going to be just totally fine to just train like pure musketeers here. So definitely looking all right for Kaiser, but we got to remember that as long as Aizamk can keep control of these natural resources, maybe deny Kaiser the ability to gather some of these hunts, maybe it could change things.
Is he just scouting with the villager for the llamas?
Yeah, it looks like that is exactly what he's doing. Like, it actually makes a lot of sense too, because whenever you find a llama, you can just bring it with you and then eat it, and eating it is probably not even going to hurt you really. One settler going to go down, but
he sort of has to. As the Ottoman, he just needs the food now. Like, waiting for it to fatten is not helpful. He needs to eat it, invest, get more military on the board, stop this British economy rolling. I have a theory, Maito. I think he played Ottoman. He selected Ottoman and then he asked what the map was, and he'd already locked Ottoman in, and he was like, shit, and he couldn't change it.
Did he pick Ottoman before
I don't know. I want to watch the recording. I'm going to ask him at any rate.
I think. Oh no, the Janissary stealing the llamas. Rip. That's unfortunate, but that's exactly what Ottoman needs to remain competitive on this map. Those llamas are going to give him sort of the edge that he needs. Artillery foundry going down now too, so 3 military buildings. 4 autos, despite not having the greatest economy in the world. Second like barracks for Kaiskleins. So actually, the Apis guns could be quite effective against what is potentially pure musketeer. We'll have to wait and see how many he manages to get out. 3 hussars coming in for another raid. Gonna spot the musketeers and head on out of there. Janissary is also in the back of the base, and yet already it's looking like Ottomans are going to be struggling in this game, right? Just look at the resources he has in bank and the amount of units he has. It's really not impressive. the Ottoman economy is very, very poor. He's down 20 villagers now, almost at least, and yeah, it's looking rough.
Yeah, I just wonder why he picked this civilization. But 700 coin has just arrived for Kaiskleins. Looks like with that food banked and the coin that's now coming in, we could see an age up here. And why not? It's not like anything's threatening him. But perhaps the safer thing to do would be add in a stable like he is doing, continue training musketeers, and add in some hussars as well, and just have that multiple unit composition. But either option would be fine. I expect he'll stay colonial. It is just safer, and Kaisklein, fairly strong player there, isn't going to want to risk anything, especially when he's this far ahead. But looks like Abbas guns now hitting the board, some hussars as well, and some janissaries. All 3 military buildings producing, but not really, because he doesn't have enough resources to use all 3 of them simultaneously. But at least he has access to different units, I suppose. Perhaps that will come into play. 3 Abbas guns, definitely going to be good against Musk only, but there are only 3. Here we go.
There are only 3. They do one-shot these musketeers though, so every volley is going to be a value for him for sure. But yeah, 3 might not be enough. Town center fire or something like that could also make short work of them probably at this point in the game. Batch of hussars coming out, going to be snaring this army. I think this army is not long for this world. There are hussars raiding on the left side from A's, but I don't know if that's going to make a big enough difference once the Ottoman army has been cleaned up. And I think this is going to be a short 4th game in this series here.
Yeah, I think people are expecting us to say that. I wondered earlier if perhaps A's was going to do some revolting shenanigans, but given that he built the artillery foundry and started training units from it, not the case. I thought like perhaps the stable would supply hussars and somehow he'd sneak up to the industrial age and go up with O'Higgins, which gives you the 10 imperial hussars and makes all of your hussars imperial, but that is not happening. The story of this game is 38 villages to 18, and about the same in military population as well. British is just decisively ahead, and I don't really know what else to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that A's had some sort of other plan earlier in the game, but like maybe Nats was on the board. He did ship 700 wood very early. It is possible that those could have been invested into natives or something like that. He was gathering pretty much pure food at the time, if I recall correctly. Unfortunately for him, that explorer did get cleaned up, so Nat's not going to be super easy to get away with if you don't have an explorer to construct a trading post. But yeah, he has a decent mass of Abus guns now, however. He's going to need to make, like, real good work of these Abus guns if he wants to win, but 4 Janissaries dropping, or 3 Janissaries dropping, sorry, and with another batch of Hussars coming out, yeah, I think this is going to be the end of the game shortly after this fight. Unless Aizamk can work some kind of miracle, or Kaiser maybe accidentally hits the delete key. We'll have to see, but...
It's happened before. We've seen the delete key.
It's true. It's not unheard of. Abuskin's also actually still alive.
You know they're in a bad spot. You know they're in a bad spot when the delete key is your only hope.
Yeah. 2 Hussars going to be getting onto these Abus guns. Not a lot of Janissaries left, so yeah, this army's going to get cleaned up. And yeah, I think Kaiser has won the game off the back of this fight. Musketeer attack coming in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, going to be walking straight up to this military building, going to be cleaning that up and just playing it nice and slow, making sure he secures this victory. And Aizamk, you know, he's like, well, I've got a Hussar. I can still win. No, probably not. Played it wrong. Perhaps, yeah. But of course, Ottoman just I don't see how Ottoman could have worked on this map at all, really.
Let's get his choices.
Yeah, it's possible. Maybe if he'd waited a little bit longer before fighting, you know, you would have had maybe closer to 15 Abus guns and like 30-something Janissaries. Could have been... Maybe could have made a little bit of a difference. But it still would have been a little bit awkward.
Yeah, I see. Perhaps if he can reach a critical mass and then take out the British units and basically just deny the villagers from gathering. It doesn't matter how many villages Brits have at that point.
Yeah, maybe also just the stable wasn't super useful either in general. Like Abus, Brit really doesn't have a good answer to Abus guns in Colonial, right? Longbows, you kind of need a really good mass of them if you want to make anything happen, and longbows don't do the best against Janissaries. Muskets, of course, take like 80 damage per shot from Abus guns, and so they just don't have a very good answer to them. Maybe if he'd started training them earlier instead of those Hussars, and you know, reached that critical mass sooner, maybe he would have had a chance. It's hard to say.
Either way, Kaiskleins picks up his first victory in this best of 7 series. The reverse sweep, it could be happening, at least getting a point on the board there. This is still match point for A's going into game number 5 of this best of 7 Colonial... Ooh, I don't know what that word was, but Colonial Age format, I think, was where I was going with that. Let's join this next game. The next map will be Florida.
Yeah, and now Kaiser does have to pick first. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. France versus Spain. Spain. Actually, I had played a couple of colonial games against Kaiser, and Spain felt pretty good, I've got to say. With those cheaper shipments, they can get a lot done really early. Feels pretty good. So we'll have to see how this pans out. France traditionally is a very good civ against Spain. Don't know if that's the case in the Colonial Age, though.
Yeah, you're, I think, absolutely right. But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sunday Smackdown game number 5. The score is currently 3-1 to Aizamk. This is match point. If Aizamk wins this game, he will win the series and take home $100. The map will be Florida. Let's start with Aizamk. He is playing as the Spanish in the color red in the north of the map. And I like Florida. It reminds me of Sanguinay. Back in the day, when we used to do Smackdown, we'd play that map, and you'd start with that random economic building, and sometimes you'd get a market. But on Florida, you will always get a market. That is just how this works. And I like those sort of kind of maps, which is why Florida ended up in the map pool here. Aizamk is going to be playing Spain, as Maito highlighted, and they do get cheaper shipments. Let's take a look at Aizamk's deck. Doesn't have one just yet. I suppose that makes sense. We'll look at that once he has selected a deck. But certainly certainly Spain, they do get their shipments more quickly. And in a format where shipments and XP are very, very valuable, since of course starting in the Colonial Age you do get those really powerful shipments, the Colonial Age shipments immediately, you do not have to age up, then Spain are primed to be a strong civilization, and Maito saying that that is the case. He's played a few Spanish games and they did seem to be very strong. I'm looking forward to seeing what his deck is, but Hunting Dog's already going in for Kaiskleins. Let's take a look at him in the south of the map, playing as indeed France, traditionally a strong civ against Spain, as Maito said, but let's see how that pans out in the Colonial Age. Could go for a trading post really early on. I still think that's something you could do, and if he does do that, then could negate the Spanish bonus a little bit and allow him to remain competitive. I think their decks will be quite telling and how they start this game. 700 wood, I expect, but will remain to be seen. Let's take a look at what's going on this map so far. So 135 coin, looks like Kaiskleins camping out next to this pirate. Doesn't really want to be fighting that since, of course, it's very strong unit, 600 HP. We'll get that crack shot. Now going to pick that up. Looks like this CDB going to do a little bit of herding as well. Take a look at Spain. What has he managed to do? Nothing yet. Has gotten 10 coin, but hasn't found any shipments that are sort of worthwhile. Just clearing up this black map on the side here. And that is the story of that. Going to come across 40 coin. But Ace is popped. He hasn't gone for a house. He's gathering the wood. I think he is intending to build a house. That's not intentional. But he's probably got a villain queue. It's not like he's shipping anything. So as long as that house goes up before that next villager pops, it will be fine. But I think their first shipments are likely to be arriving, or they're about to get their first shipments available any moment now. What do you think we're likely to see, and have they selected decks?
Well, Ace is going to be arriving shortly, but Kaiser only just now received his first shipment. Hasn't selected a deck just yet. But, yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably just going to be 700 wood from both players, most likely. There's not a lot else you really want to send this early in the game. You kind of need those resources to sort of jumpstart your military buildings, your market upgrades, and everything like that. But also allow you to grab like a second trading post, which means more shipments in the long term. But
it's basically the same reason everyone goes up with the quartermaster, right? You just, that wood bonus injects so much into your build. It's just worth so many villager seconds.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, okay, barracks coming up from Aizamk now. The thing is, though, that Spain is going to be so far ahead in their build compared to France. He's already got his second shipment. It's already on the way. Kaiser's first shipment has just arrived. So he's going to be very far ahead in his build order compared to France. And the only advantage that France is really going to have in this matchup is that CDBs are stronger than settlers, basically. He starts with more of them. You know, he passively will, you know, be getting a small economic advantage over the course of the game. But with the 5 settler shipment already out for Aizamk, I don't know how much that's going to matter. Second trading post going down, though, will help mitigate Spain's shipment bonus a little bit.
You say, okay, so Kaiser now getting steel traps in as well with his 700 wood, and that first rack's going up by the looks of it. A's instead elected to go with a dock, so he's going to start building this. This is, of course, ESOC Patch, where the boats are slightly cheaper, so you do not need pioneers. And he's going to send 600 wood behind this. So I quite like that. It's and going to enable him to get perhaps another trading post and continue to build fishing ships with the wood there. And it makes sense why he was sort of had this explorer on the side, sort of scouting out this side of the map instead of going for treasures. He was getting some visuals on the water so he could place his dock down. But yes, you know, fairly even then. What's each player going to do? Except Spain gets shipments faster than France, and aside from that, it's going to be the same. I agree with you, and I'm interested to see what Kaiser does. But the one advantage he does have, Maito, is that France have access to the exiled prince politician going up to the Fortress Age. So at some point in the game, that could become relevant, and being able to fast age when Spain cannot could be quite helpful. We'll see how that pans out, but currently very similar mirror builds here, both starting with wood, followed by a villager shipment, and looks like, of course, A's with the Spanish ability to get shipments faster has gotten 600 wood, but oh no, some deviate. No, I thought that was coming in for Kaiser, but actually A's 2 shipments ahead before his opponent even gets his next one out there. Looks like we do have a little bit of fighting going on there.
Yeah, going to be cleaning up these musketeers a little bit. A couple of musketeers of his own going to be sort of applying pressure in turn in Kaiser's base. But going to get forced away by the CDB and the musketeers in tandem there. Second TP is going to be under pressure a little bit, but with the second batch of musketeers coming, Kaiser is going to have to be leaving. But yeah, the biggest difference here is probably these boats.
I feel like Spain is able to afford this because the shipments come faster.
France
can't.
It totally makes sense. Kaiser, 600 wood coming out for him now, gonna probably get him up stable and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, the thing about these boats, I want to say that Kaiser might have some sort of like timing where he can sort of abuse the fact that he went for this really greedy style, but with all these shipments he's getting, it's just gonna put him so far ahead that it's not gonna matter. Like part of the problem with Spain in a normal supremacy game where you start in the Discovery Age, right, is you get your 3 settlers a little bit faster, and then you have to sit on all of your shipments until the Colonial Age, and you hit the Colonial Age at roughly the same time other civilizations do. So your civilization bonus is mitigated a little bit by how long you have to wait before you can abuse those shipments.
Yeah.
But it's not the case here in the Colonial Age. You can just send them back to back, and they're all going to be really strong shipments, and it seems to snowball pretty well. 8 crossbows coming out for Kaiser could be potentially good for him at defending this trading post against this musketeer mass. But yeah, Aizamk also saving to age up to Fortress shortly. Looks
God,
like.
he's just 2 shipments ahead the whole time. It's nuts. Like, it's just so nuts. But Kaiser does have a larger army here, and is going to be able to push away these Musks with not only a larger army, but superior composition. Of course, Expo is going to be quite good against the infantry, and is going to save this trading post for the time being. Looks like, though, A's got 8 pikes out. Not sure how effective they will be versus the army, but certainly do represent siege damage. They have been scouted by this native scout, though. I wonder where they're going to go and see what he can do. It's not like he can siege anything with them. Perhaps they were... I don't know. They're pikemen. They're the only sort of military shipment that, of course, Spain has access to. I should have put my phone on silent here. Looks like he's going to head on over to the dock and defend it.
So we've been touting all these advantages for Spain as well, but this 8 pike and 8 crossbow shipment is also going to be an advantage for France. Spain, of course, does not have access to any ranged infantry or ranged cavalry shipments, which, of course, France does. So with both players looking to advance to the Fortress Age here, that is another advantage that Kaiskleins has going for him as France. Hopefully he'll be able to leverage that to mitigate this shipment advantage a little bit. But yeah, still going to be awkward for him the later stages of this game.
Yeah.
With how much cheaper Azamk shipments are and how much more of them he's going to get in the early Fortress here. And that's also... true. In early Fortress, the ranged infantry not going to be super relevant, as both players are likely going to have to go for falconets, and with this big musketeer balls to really defend those falconets. Ranged infantry like skirmishers is not going to be all that effective until those falconets are down. So yeah, it's still going to be awkward for Kaiser. Pikemen getting picked off. Gonna lose maybe 2 of them, looks like.
Yeah, he would just sent them as a filler, didn't he? He didn't really have anything else to send, I suppose. He wanted to send units, keep the military. He was aging up, right? A's needed to get to the next age. He doesn't have that fast age politician. And look, Kaiser's managed to get up before him thanks to having that exiled prince. I think though A's just thought, right, I need to get up. It's a slow age. 8 pikes is military units, and I just need military units to make sure I can get up there safely. So it was a bit of a hedge, even if it's not a great shipment. It's just going to ensure that his safety.
Mm-hmm. And I think part of the reason these pikemen are down here as well is just to control the coastline, just making sure Kaiser is not also on water, or not making any caravels to sort of mitigate the fact that Spain is on water. Yeah, so also they could walk in, potentially siege down a trading post or a house once the fighting starts. They're not going to be super useful with musketeers with Muskfalk against Muskfalk. Basically, pikemen not going to be doing anything. But yeah, Kaiskleins actually has the military advantage for the moment. 2 falconets already out. Azamk's 2 falcons are on the way. But yeah, he's got a bit of a window here. And we'll have to see if he can make the most of it.
Yeah, he's still got up to the... Coming in, is it? Veteran Musketeer. Okay, that's what he needs. Does his opponent have that coming in? He does not. However, his opponent does have Falconets and was up to the next stage sooner, so shipment curve is just going to... Fortress Age shipment curve is going to be here. Of course, Spain do get faster shipments, but it's not... well, it might be evening up now. Here we do have 2 Falconets coming out from Aizamk. Trading post does go down. Looks like France has the stronger military. They're taking volleys. Can he get eyes on those cannons though? If so, then this could go quite well. This cannon fight looks like he does get the first shot off. That's not very, and War Dogs as well, just keeping him distracted.
However, it looks like he's just going to walk in to shoot these Falcons. He's going to lose a lot of muskets for
this. He misclicked! He misclicked on a musket rather than the Falc. Oh, that's so disgusting.
Oh, wow. No. I think he's paid basically 50 musketeers for 2 Falcons, unfortunately.
Yeah. Kaiskleins does resign. That is game number 4 going to Aizamk. Yeah, he walked into that fight, and rather than right-clicking on the Falconet to take it down, he focused all on a musketeer, and the musketeer died, sure, but it was just so much overkill that he just lost so much, like, damage, so to speak, that he just all those musketeers melted away, and it looks like Aizamk gonna pick up the 4th game in Sunday Smackdown. Wow, I sort of half said Saturday there, but gonna take away my $100. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. This video will be available afterwards as a video, so you can watch all of it. Please consider, if you are excited about Sunday Smackdown returning, pledging a couple of dollars or $1 or something like that on Patreon, because currently all of the funding is coming from me, and I don't know how long-term sustainable that will be, so any support, even if it's just $1, would be appreciated. Thank you very much. But that is going to be it from me and Maito. Join us next time for a 1v1. It will be a best of 7. It will be Sunday Smackdown, but it will be Ordinary Supremacy on Smackdown patch.